Alrighty guys, we got a lot more done. Well, not a lot. All the springs are on, but nothing is tight because so you're supposed to do it. But I finally got, after 3 trips to the store, thought I needed 6 and 5-inch bolts, but they were actually 6-inch bolts I thought I needed then after that, but then it turns out I need the 5-inch bolts. So you have all the bolts in. Everything is anti-seized except for the threads. I can't find grade 8 Nylock 9/16 nuts, so I gotta find some of those or some steel locking ones. And then we've got, yeah, all 4 springs are mounted to the frame. This back half of the frame is resting on the springs actually. So she bounces when you stand on her. So yeah, and that frees up 2 of my jack stands. And now, instead of, since I don't have parts, since I don't have the parts and I don't have the money for the parts to start building this rear end, I don't have the U-bolts or anything like that. I gotta take the front end apart. So we're pulling it apart. The smart way to do this would have been to separate the 2 halves off the truck instead of dropping it as 1 unit, but that's not what we did. And you can see we've soaked pretty much everything down in WD-40 just to get it going. In fact, I think I'm going to grab some PB Blaster too and hit that. I prefer the WD-40 that comes in this because the propellants and the aerosol aren't the best for the environment. I know everything I own, pretty much everything I own has 8 cylinders and doesn't get over 20 to the gallon and is old, but this is I want to drive my old cars, but I also want to do what I can for the environment. So I like the non-aerosol bottles as much as I can, and that goes with bug spray, lubricants, anything like that. We like to keep it just mechanical. So unfortunately they don't sell PB Blaster and a pump spray to the best of my knowledge. So we're just soaking everything down. And this is a very handy tool. We used it to get the bolts out of the end of the hub, because those like to seize in. This is a manual impact driver for those of you who don't know. This thing is fantastic. So pick yourself, even the cheap ones, pick one up from Menards. It's got a 3/8 drive, so you can put a socket on there, or you can run those tips, or you can put your own whatever on. Pick one up from Menards for like 12 bucks. I think that's what that cost me. And it's fantastic. It's never let me down. Yeah, so we're just spraying everything down. These drums, or these brakes are really rusty. So I think we're gonna get the rotors turned when we get a chance, but I'm not sure when we're gonna have that chance. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But I'm not really too sure what's gonna happen with that. I might have to buy new, I know I have to buy new drums in the rear because they're just awful, and that's already gonna be expensive enough. So if I can get away with just turning these rotors in the front, I'd be very happy. Yeah, you see, we're not really gonna hit these because those will come out just fine, and I can't really get to the threaded portions anyways. But these, you can really get them going, especially all these ball joints. And I'm probably gonna rebuild these calipers now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like these calipers are part of the knuckle. So I don't know how that works or how it comes apart, but we'll figure it out. But so far, because I've never worked on these before, like a lot of this on this truck. I've never rebuilt a Dana 70, and I've never rebuilt a Dana 44 HD TTB. So it's gonna be fun. And that's gonna have to separate too. The oil that creeps. That is not this. That is Croyle. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. And we'll see how far I get tonight. It's about 8 o'clock right now. But I'm not really sure. Oh, I think my neighbors are in. I think I can hear their air compressor. But yeah. We'll keep. Yeah, you can hear it. It's pretty not soundproof. And whenever they smoke, I can smell it over here, so it's a little annoying. But we'll just keep tearing this down, see how far we get. Had to get out the fire wrench, but the caliper's off. The way these go on is pretty cool, actually. In that hole goes a bolt, which is actually snapped off right now. And that bolt retains this whole setup. So the caliper sits into the bottom right there. You set it down, you swing it in, and then this whole assembly with the shims gets pounded in through this way. It does a friction fit, and then you run the bolt through. But that bolt is snapped off. And I wonder how long it was run like that. But it has a special name for it. And if I had the manual, I can tell you guys what that is. And I do. Yes, this is what we're restoring this truck with, a Haynes book. Not like the other things we actually care about, where we buy factory manuals. But, you know, so it's called the key retainer. See, the bolt goes in right there, but it's missing. And this is for the dual and the singles, so the F100 single piston brakes are the same. Since it's a 3/4 ton, it's got the dual piston, and we're gonna rebuild the calipers too. If I can get a kit for it, hopefully I can. Yeah, hopefully we can rebuild those. And now I just gotta pull the brake rotor off of this side, and then maybe we can get to the knuckle on this side yet tonight. And I've already zipped that bolt off. On the 2-wheel drive models on these, they run kingpins, but on the 4-wheel drives they have to run ball joints. I like the kingpins. They're very, very strong. They last a lot longer than a ball joint, in my opinion. From what I've seen in my experiences, they last a lot longer. That they can be a pain to work on, especially in Wisconsin when you get a little bit of rust and tolerances tighten up because the rust expands, and yeah, that whole story of trying to pull it apart. But this is going pretty well. I've only burned my hand twice with the torch, so that's a good day. And yeah, just keep ripping and tearing. Ladies and gents, this is about as far as I'm gonna get to today. Now, we've got the locking hub almost taken apart. I just got to get the aluminum, the wheel hub, the aluminum hub that the screws are into. But we've got it all taken apart, pretty much. And then I'm probably gonna need a slide hammer to take the rest of it apart. I've seen people do it without slide hammers though, so we'll see. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna clean up here. I'm gonna get out of here. We got a long drive, so catch you guys in the next one.